Hi there, welcome or welcome back to our channel. So let me guess, you've clicked this video because you've got your Cambridge Advanced exam coming up and you're stressing out because you haven't given yourself enough time to prepare. Well, first of all, take a deep breath. It happens. You've got 1 week to make it work, and I'm here to help you to make that happen. So let us be realistic. You cannot do everything now. You only have a week left. So you need to be smart. You need to be strategic. And please don't even try to cover everything because you're just going to give yourself a heart attack. Now, in this video, we'll break down exactly what you need to focus on day by day. And I'll also give you links in the description box below to the additional resources you need to practice the stuff that we cover in the video. So open this video on a new tab on your computer and check in with me day by day, because I'm going to take you through to exam day to make sure you're ready to give this thing your best shot. So if you're taking the Cambridge Advanced exam soon and you're panicking a little bit about it, then I highly suggest you subscribe to Home Studies. Before we get started, just a reminder not to push the panic button. As the British say, keep calm and carry on. So we've got 6 days to go, and today we're going to focus on listening, which is a passive skill. Now, in the listening paper, there are 4 parts, all of which have a different skill focus, and we'll go over those in a minute. As you can see, your goal is 60%. We just need a pass. We just need 18 points. Anything more than that is a bonus. What is this Cambridge Advanced listening paper all about? Well, in a nutshell, you have to listen to a recorded text or texts in the different parts and answer some questions about them. The nice thing is that you hear each recording twice. In part 1, you hear 3 short extracts from conversations, and there are 2 multiple choice questions for each extract. You have to simply choose A, B, or C. This is straightforward. We like part 1. Part 2 is a little bit more difficult. Here you hear a monologue lasting for about 3 minutes, and you have to complete the sentences on the question paper with the missing information which you hear on the recording. You write down the exact word you hear, and this is a key. You cannot change the word at all, and spelling matters. Part 3 is a long one. It's another conversation, but it lasts about 4 minutes. And again, you have to answer some multiple choice questions by choosing the right answer from 4 options A, B, C, or D. The good bit here is that the questions follow the order of the conversation, so it's quite easy to keep up with what's being said. And part 4 is the trickiest, both in instructions and the task itself. You hear 5 monologues on the same topic and they last about 30 seconds each. Now on the question paper there are 2 tasks, and for each task you have to match one of the 5 speakers to 8 of the possible answers. Got it? Well, if you need more information or practice on any of the above, then follow the link in the description box below and you can go through the listening test with us in detail. Don't assume you can do it. Definitely try it before you get to the exam day. Okay, we've got 5 days to go, and today we're going to focus on reading. Now the reading and use of English papers are combined. They're in one paper, but the reading focuses on parts 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and your goal is to get 32 points, all right? So you can lose 18 points, which is actually quite a comforting way of thinking of it. What can I tell you about the Cambridge Advanced Reading paper? Well, it's easy. I wish I could tell you that, but it would be a lie because it's not. It's long and it's dense and there is so much to get through. And Cambridge, they really don't make it easy on you. But anyway, let's go through the parts so at least you know what to expect. Part 1 is a text in which there are 8 gaps, and each of the gap represents a missing word or phrase. Now, after the text, there are 4 multiple choice options, A, B, C, or D, and you have to choose the one that best fits the gap. Part 5 is a long text, again with some multiple choice options for questions. So here, again, you have to choose A, B, C, or D, and the questions follow the order of the text. Part 6, the instructions themselves are quite complicated. So there are 4 short texts, and there are multiple matching questions. So what that means, in other words, is that you have to read and see which texts have the same attitudes or opinions and which ones have a different point of view. So you basically need to compare and contrast opinions and information across the texts. Part 7 is also quite the challenge. Many people do find it the most difficult. There's a single page of text with numbered gaps. And then after the text, there are 7 paragraphs which are not in the right order. So you have to read the text and the paragraphs and decide which paragraphs fit best in which gaps. It's like a big old giant reading puzzle. So if you're good at puzzles, you might actually stand a chance on this one. And finally, part 8 is a multiple matching. So here you get a list of statements or prompts followed by several short texts. And you have to match a statement to the correct text. This one I think is probably the easiest. Don't quote me on that, but that seems to be my experience. Now, you absolutely have to practice the reading before you get into the exam, if for nothing else but to understand the instructions and what's expected of you. So go to the description box below, click on the links for each of the videos which cover and practice each part of the reading paper in detail. Good luck. So we've made a bit of progress and we've still got 4 days to go. So let's keep going. Today, we're going to focus on use of English. Now, as I said before, it's part of the reading and use of English paper, and there are 3 parts. So it's parts 2, 3, and 4. Your goal here is to get 16 out of 28. So again, you can lose 12 points, and that is great news. It means you don't have to get it perfect. You just need a pass. Let's talk now about the overview for the use of English paper. So the use of English section is something that is uniquely Cambridge. So no other exam suits really do anything like this. So you have to do them in advance so you know what to expect, because sometimes, they're a little bit weird. So part 2 is an open close. This is like a gapful activity. You get a text in which there are 8 gaps and you have to find the one correct word for each gap. These are usually grammar words, things like prepositions, connecting words, basic verbs, things like that. If your answer is a long adjective or an advanced verb, you've probably got the wrong answer. Try again. Part 3 is a word formation activity. So here again, you get a text containing 8 gaps, and each gap represents one word. Now, at the end of the line is a prompt, and you have to change this prompt in some way to complete the sentence correctly. So for example, if the prompt word is comfort, and then you're required to come up with the negative adjective uncomfortable. So the answer obviously depends on the context. And part 4, this is the keyword transformation task, and it's one of the toughest parts of the test, so be aware of that. Each question consists of a sentence followed by a keyword or a prompt, and then a second sentence with a gap in the middle. Your job is to use the keyword to complete the second sentence so that it has the same meaning as the first sentence. And you can do that in using between 3 and 6 words. Okay, now if you don't really understand those instructions or you would like to do a bit more practice with them, and I really suggest you do practice these because like I said, you don't see these commonly in, other tests or English textbooks. Go to the description box below and click the links for the videos so you can practice each of these parts in detail with us. We have reached the halfway mark, so we've got 3 days to go, we've made good progress, and we can see the finish line, so let's keep at it, okay? Today we're going to focus on writing part 1. And in the advanced exam, in part 1, you have to write the essay. This is a compulsory task. So that means whatever topic they give you is the topic you need to write about. There is no choice. And your goal is to get 12 out of 20. So again, 60% is going to give you enough for grade C, and that is a pass. Writing part 1. What is that all about? Well, in a nutshell, you have to write a text that is 220 to 260 words long, and you have about 45 minutes to do so. Now, for this task, you read a text and then write an essay based on the points included in the text. You'll also be asked to explain which of the 2 points is more important and to give reasons for your opinions. Now, this is important, okay? You write about 2 points and you completely ignore point number 3. The main thing the examiners are looking at is that you've answered the task. So you've done what you were asked to do. You didn't write about some other random topic, you answered the topic at hand. They also want to see that your writing is appropriate for the task. So this means you've reused the style which is right for the specific context, like a formal proposal or an informal letter. You're not saying, hey dude, in, a proposal to the government. Now, you also need to make sure that your writing is put together well, it's logical and ordered, and that there is a good range of vocabulary and grammar that you use accurately. So these are all of the must criteria for writing an essay for Cambridge Advanced, and if you need some help with any of those or with all of the above, then I recommend you go and you click the link below and you watch our video on how to write a great essay for this test. Okay, so we've got 2 days to go. How are you feeling? I hope that you're managing to keep your emotions under control and just focusing on the finish line. So today, together, we're going to work on writing part 2. So in writing part 1, you have no choice, but in writing part 2, you have a choice of 4. So you can decide which of these you would like to do out of a letter, a proposal, a report, and a review. And just like in writing part 1, your goal is 12 out of 20. So that would give you the required 60%. And so what's the story with writing part 2 then? Well, here again, you need to do another piece of writing that is the same length, so 220 to 260 words long, and you have the same time. 45 minutes for the task. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you have to be strategic. You now at this stage do not have time to prepare all 4 of these options. No way. Think of it like this. You have 4 options in total, and there will be a choice of 3 in the exam. So prepare 2. Best case scenario, 2 come up. Worst case scenario, 1 comes up, but you'll still be able to do that 1. It's better to prepare 1 or 2 well than try and do them all quickly now and basically end up nowhere. So think about which of these you could do more easily. Like if you write reports for your work or your studies, then do a report. If you're one of those people who likes to kind of write reviews on Amazon, then write a review. Got it? Make smart choices. And there is 1 day to go, so you know what that means. The test is tomorrow. Well done on how far you've come. Great job. There's just one part of the puzzle that we still have to go over today, and that is the speaking. So in the speaking test, there are 4 parts, and each of those test different kinds of speaking skills and speaking interactions. Your goal is to get 45 out of 75. Now, there are a lot of points on offer in the speaking. And the key thing here, just keep it in mind, is that you don't need to be perfect. You need to fulfill the tasks. You need to, show the examiner you've got the range of vocabulary and grammar and, ease of communication that is required of an advanced speaker. But if you make mistakes, if you forget articles, if you use the wrong prepositions, don't stress about it, okay? You can still pass that exam even if you make those little mistakes. It's not going to be a deal breaker. Okay, so keep that in mind. Take a deep breath. And let's learn more about it. Now let's talk about the speaking exam, which is actually my favorite part of the test, but I'm a bit of a chatterbox, so I think I might be a bit biased. Anyway, the speaking exam is all about impressions. The question is how you can tick as many of the examiner's boxes as possible during the 11 to 14 minutes you have in the test. So part 1 is the interview. This is the most basic part of the speaking. The examiner will ask you questions about personal and general topics. Now, there's nothing unexpected here, but please bear in mind that even if the questions are simple, you cannot give simple answers. You need to show the examiner from the first question that you're an advanced user of English. So pay attention to your word choice, your grammar, your idioms, how you give reasons and examples for your opinions. You have to show them that you are at the level from the beginning, from the first question. Part 2 is the long turn, and I think this is quite tricky actually. There are 3 pictures and you have to choose 2 and ignore the third picture. Do not say anything about it, okay? Your job is to describe and compare those 2 pictures and then answer 2 questions about them. And the key here is to manage your time. You only have 1 minute, so don't speak too long, describing the pictures and then don't have time left to answer the questions. And also be sure to listen when your partner is speaking, because they're going to ask you a question. And if you're dreaming, you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner or the happy hour drinks you're going to have after the test, then you're going to find yourself in a bit of trouble. So pay attention throughout. Part 3 is a collaborative task. This is when you and your speaking partner look at a mind map. There's a question in the middle and 5 prompts around it for you to discuss. This is not a monologue, okay? You can't just speak about it on your own. It's a collaborative task. It's a dialogue. You have to engage your speaking partner, else you will not do well. And finally, part 4 is a discussion that develops the topic of part 3. So the examiner will ask you and your speaking partner questions that you are able to discuss with each other. Like in part 1, it's crucial that you give reasons and examples to support your opinions. Again, you have to showcase your language skills and prove to them that you deserve to pass that test. Okay, that's a lot of information. Now go to the description box below and click on the links for each of the videos which cover the different parts of the speaking test in detail. We really know how to prepare people for a speaking test, so go and watch those videos. Well, the day of the exam has arrived. There is literally nothing more that you can do at this stage. Please don't try and cram last-minute information into your brain. It's just going to tire you out and it's not going to help you. You've got a long day ahead, so have a good breakfast, have a good cup of coffee, and stay fresh. Oh, and please be on time. You don't want to have any unnecessary stress because you're running late for the exam. Before you leave the house, just go over this checklist to make sure you've got all the essential things that you could need at the exam center. So you'll need identification, so either a passport or an ID. Then take some pens with you. Black or dark blue will be okay. Also take an HB pencil and an eraser. So, for the writing, they want you to use a pen. For the listening and the reading and use of English, they want you to use a pencil. Just listen to the instructions. They'll tell you which is which, but make sure you've got both. And then a clear plastic water bottle. If you've got one of those colored bottles, they won't let you take it into the exam venue and you won't be able to drink, which is no good. And sorry, no food or mobile phones allowed, so you can leave those outside the venue or just leave them at home. Well, that is going to do it. I hope you're feeling less stressed and generally more prepared for the exam. If you feel like you got something out of this video, then please go ahead and share it on your socials. And also, please let me know in the comment section below how the exam goes. I would really like to hear from you. So, good luck for the test. Do your best, and remember, if you do need to take the test again, then get in touch with Home Studies. I'm sure we can help you to get even better prepared. Have a great day. Bye.